I think my TBR is a little bit ambitious, just a little bit, or a big bit, like a lot ambitious. Like, that is not gonna happen in a week. I can tell you that right now. I guess I should also say hello. So hi, how are you all doing? I am here with my summer biannual bibliothon TBR. So this readathon is a week long. It's happening on July 3rd to July 9th. I'm very excited for it. It is run by a bunch of wonderful, wonderful ladies. So I'll leave a link down below to the biannual bibliothon channel. They have an official YouTube channel and they post all of the updates there. They have information about the reading challenges, the video challenges, who the hosts are, giveaways, things like that. So a lot of fun stuff. So definitely take a look there if you have any questions about the readathon. So basically I took a look at the reading challenges and I made a TBR. So I chose one book for each of the challenges, but I also have a couple of books that can count towards 2. So if I have to not read any books, I know which ones I can sacrifice. So challenge number 1 for the biannual bibliothon, which I always love, is to read the group book. So with the biannual bibliothon, they also have kind of a book club. Outside of the readathons, they do read books together and do live shows discussing the books and things like that. So the readathon book pick for this round is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I'm so glad that I received a copy of this in one of the YA Chronicles subscription boxes recently, because that saved me going out and getting it myself. It already is on my shelf, and I'm thrilled that this is actually the group book as well, because I've never read a Morgan Matson book before. I'm very interested in picking them up because I have heard great things about all of her books. So challenge number 2, you have a wild card. You can pick any book that you want. And for this, I've chosen 2 books. I'll explain why. The first one is a book that I have been reading for a few months, but because of the size and the density and the type of book it is, I haven't been able to pick it up recently with uni work and everything like that. But don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying the book, so I thought that this would be a nice opportunity to fly through the rest of the book. Well, fly, I don't know. It's the kind of book that you kind of have to put down at times. But anyway, that is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. At this point, I am this far through the book, but I only need to read to about here because the rest is like indexes, appendices, exhibits, like photographs and things like that. I've already read some of this and will continue to flick back forward with different footnotes, but this is the main chunk of the story that I still have to read. I have about 200 pages left of this one to read, so it is going to take me a little while to do that, but hopefully I can get through this. And the second book that I've included as a possible wildcard book is Full Metal Alchemist Volumes 1 to 3 by Hiromu Arakawa. So this is one that I was hoping to read in the Tome Topple Readathon, but didn't get around to it. And I thought that this would be a really good idea, considering the chunky books that I have on my TBR pile. Picking up a manga will break things up a little bit and hopefully make the whole readathon experience a little bit easier, because I typically choose shorter books, but for some silly reason, I've chosen really thick books. So with this one, it is 3 volumes, so I can read a third of this binder at a time. Challenge number 3, pick one of the host's recommendations. So each host has chosen one book that they recommend others to read, and out of those 7 books, you choose one which you'd like to read. So I went with Emma from Emma Books' recommendation, because that's one of the only ones that I already own, and that is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I think this is one of the books that I received from Alcrate a while ago, and I've been dying to pick this one up for such a long time. I've heard really wonderful things about this book, so thank you, Emma, for choosing this one as your recommendation. I am going to follow up on your recommendation and read this one. Challenge number 4, read a book with your favorite mythical creature. For this one, I decided to go with witches or sorcerers, sorceresses. And the book that I've chosen for that is Lioness Rampant by Tamora Pierce. One of my favorite childhood series, and I do absolutely love witches and wizards and sorcerers and things like that. I love the use of power and magic. I love it. I really love it. So I decided to go with that for this one. And since this is a series that I've been rereading this year, it's about time that I picked up the 4th and final book from this series. Challenge number 5 is to pick up a book you have been putting off. Now, I've got a couple reasons why I've been putting this particular book off. I wonder if you can figure it out before I show you what book it is. So the first book that I read by this author is part of a series that I read quite a few years ago, and it's one of my least favorite books ever. I really didn't enjoy it. Secondly, I owned another book by this author, which I heard wasn't as good as this surprise book is. So I was like, okay, I'll read that one first and then build up to this last book slash series, because I don't want to be let down reading the other one later on, if you know what I mean. And thirdly, I wanted to wait until all of the books in the series came out so I could get a general idea of whether this series is worth picking up and I think most people would say yes. Have you figured out which book I'm talking about just yet? I will satisfy your curiosity. The book is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Another one that's not really a thin book. It's like 400 pages. Why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. But yes, so I did not like Shiver. I did enjoy Scorpio Races, but I've heard that this series is far better than the other ones, so I'm very excited to finally get into this series, especially since The Raven King has recently come out. I've just heard everybody raving and raving, so I'm really excited to pick it up. Challenge number 6 is to read a book by an author you've never read before. And for this one, I have chosen Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman. This is a book that I was sent for review. Unfortunately, I didn't get round to reading it when I was sent it, and then my general excuse, university, is just killing my soul. So I haven't really been able to pick this up, but it's about time I do. I'm very excited to read this one as well because it's a Alexander the Great retelling-ish, but the author is an historian as well, I believe. So it should be pretty accurate in some respects. Obviously, it's fiction. I'm very excited to pick this one up, and obviously I will be doing a review of this as well. And the final challenge is to read a book in a format that you don't normally read. So I obviously read a lot of physical books, and I also listen to a lot of audiobooks. And now I own a Kindle, but I haven't read something on this in quite a while. I think I've only read one ebook on here this year. So I'm going to be reading an ebook, and for this one, another thick book. I've decided to pick up Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. And this is, oh my god, this is 600 pages, oh my gosh. I won't regret it though. I know I won't. I'm very excited to pick this book up. So the reason why I've decided to read this one in digital form, so Jay was so wonderful and hooked me up with a copy of the physical arc of this, and he was also like, we've done some edits since then and included some maps. So I have the PDF of that if you're interested in reading that version. Let me know what you think. And I was like, I would love to have a look at a map and read a version that's a little more edited and has a little more content as well, apparently. So he sent me a PDF of that as well. So I'm going to be reading the digital form. So this here is my TBR for the summer biannual bibliothon coming up next month. Oh, 8 books. It's really not going to happen. I'm hoping that I might just go on a total reading spree now that I'm on uni break, but if you've been paying attention to the past few readathons that I've been participating in, I haven't been doing as well as I used to do, just with time constraints and the stress of everything. But you never know, I might just like jump right in and surprise myself. And for those of you that are participating in the biannual bibliothon this round, I wish you the best of luck. And what book on your TBR pile are you most excited to read? Since I've got so many to choose from, this is a really hard decision. I don't know. I'm actually so excited to read so many of the books that are on my TBR pile, which is a great thing because hopefully that means I'll read a lot more, but it's really hard to pick one. Maybe I'll go for Nevernight because Assassins and because Jay Kristoff is an Aussie author and I just like, yeah, Aussie lovin'. I'll use that as something to differentiate between that and the rest of the books, I guess. I'd honestly pick any of those 8 books and be like, yes, damn, I'm looking forward to you the most. So many great books that I'm really excited to read. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the biannual bibliothon. It's gonna be good. And a quick note as well, for those of you who are participating in a readathon for the first time or would like a little bit of advice, tips, tricks, how to keep motivated throughout the readathon, then I did a how-to readathon video a couple of years ago now, which I think is still relevant. So I will leave that linked down below as well if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments about what you're excited to read about. But I guess that's all that I have for now. So thank you all once again, and I'll see you next time. Bye!